Then next is the diagnosis. In the diagnosis of IUGR, first of all we should have to take proper clinical history. In that palpation of uterus, ठीक है, palpation of the uterus, in that we should have to take properly fundal height, then the Leaker volume and the fetal mass. Then symphyso-fundal height, in that closely correlates with gestational age after the 24th week. ठीक है, after the 24th week we should have to properly correlate the height of the uterus with the gestational age. Then leg of 4 centimeter or more, then it will represent as a IUGR condition. Then fairly sensitive, that in that condition 30 to 80%, and serial measurement is important. Then maternal weight gain, stationary or falling during the second half of the pregnancy, means the maternal weight gain maybe it will be stationary or maybe it will be fall during the second half of the pregnancy. And then the abdominal girth, the abdominal girth is stationary or the falling as it is the weight. The next is investigation related to the IUGR. So in the investigation, first of all, the hemoglobin, we should have to advise the patient to for the investigation of the hemoglobin level. Then blood group, whether it is ABO or RH incompatibility, and urine. In the urine, sugar, albumin, microscopic culture and the sensitivity. Then HIV test, then the serological test for the syphilis, and the thyroid stimulating hormone test, and hepatitis B surface antigen, and the OGTT, that means the oral glucose tolerance test. For that all hematological and biological investigation, we should have to advise the patient further. The next is biophysical. In the biophysical, first examination is done between the 16 to 20 weeks, should confirm the gestational age and the anomalies also. And then ultrasonography, the ultrasonography is advised between the 2 to 3rd weekly 2 to 3 weekly. And then diagnosis of IUGR according to the type, like head circumference and the abdominal circumference ratio. We should have to properly check the head circumference and the abdominal circumference ratio. In that, more than 1, that is before 32 weeks, and more than or equal to 32 to 34 weeks, or if it is less than 1 after the 34 weeks. So that will be the head circumference and abdominal circumference ratio. If it is elevated, then it is a asymmetrical IUGR, and if it is normal, in that condition is also normal in the asymmetrical IUGR, and 85% IUGR fetuses are detected. And then abdominal circumference, single most sensitive parameter for checking the IUGR condition in the babies. Then the biochemical markers, elevated level of the maternal serum alpha fetoprotein and the human chorionic gonadotrophin level in the second trimester are markers of the abnormal placentation and the risk of the IUGR. Means when we are doing the biochemical marker, in that condition, if the maternal serum alpha fetoprotein or the SCG level will be increased in the second trimester, then it will be more chances that the having the chances of abnormal placentation, means abnormal implantation of the placenta, and risk of IUGR is increases. Then the physical features at birth, the weight deficit, that is 600 gram below the minimum in percentile standard, and length will be unaffected in that condition. And head circumference, it will be relatively larger than body in asymmetric IUGR. As I previously told you that the head is larger than the body in the asymmetric IUGR, and baby is alert, active, normal, cry, and the eye is open, and the reflexes are also normal. Then the dry and wrinkled skin because of the less subcutaneous fat, scaphoid abdomen, thin meconium stand, and vernix caseosa, and thin umbilical cord. So the baby will look like the old man look, means in the IUGR condition, the baby's condition or the look of the baby is like old man look. In that, what happened, the baby's skin is completely dry and wrinkled, and then lack of the subcutaneous fat, and the scaphoid abdomen. Scaphoid abdomen means the anterior wall of the abdomen is sunken and the hollow. And then meconium stand will be present, that is thin, and vernix caseosa, that will be also thin, and the umbilical cord is also thin. So the baby will be look like the old man look, and the pinna of the ear is cartilaginous, ribs are present, and the plantar creases are well defined. Then the complications of the IUGR baby in the fetal: antenatal, chronic fetal distress, fetal death, diminished amniotic fluid volume, increases the likelihood of the cord compression. Means in the antenatal period, the fetal having the some kinds of complication like the fetal distress, means fetus is can't able to take properly oxygen, and sometimes it will lead to the fetal death, and the diminished amniotic fluid volume increases the likelihood of the cord compression. If there is the condition of oligohydramnios, means the lacking of amniotic fluid volume is present, so in that condition the cord compression will chances of cord compression is increases. Then during the intranatal period or during the labor time, hypoxia, lack of oxygen to the body tissues of the fetus, and the acidosis will be present. And then after the birth, immediate or late. So there are two kinds of the complication, immediate or the late. So we'll see one by one. The immediate complications in the fetus are: first is asphyxia, then bronchopulmonary dysphagia or the respiratory distress syndrome, then hypoglycemia due to the shortage of the glycogen reserve in the liver because of the chronic hypoxia, then meconium aspiration syndrome will be present, then microcoagulation leading to disseminated intravascular coagulopathy, then hypothermia, then pulmonary hemorrhage, polycythemia, anemia, thrombocytopenia, hyperviscosity, thrombosis, then necrotizing enterocolitis due to the reduced intestinal blood flow, and then IVH means the intraventricular hemorrhage. So that all are the immediate complications. And then electrolyte abnormalities also present, then hyperphosphatemia, hypokalemia due to the impaired renal functions, and then multi-organ failures. So sometimes it will lead to the condition of the multiple organ failure, and increased perinatal mortality and the morbidity. So these all are the immediate complications. The next is the late complications. First one, symmetrical growth retarded baby is likely to grow slowly after the birth. If the baby is born with the symmetrical growth, okay, if the baby is symmetrical growth retarded, so the likely to grow slowly after the birth. The baby will be grow after birth very slowly, and if it is asymmetrical condition, then catch up growth in early infancy. Means during the infancy period, the baby will grow very early. And then retarded neurological and intellectual development in infancy. ठीक है, ड्यूरिंग द इन्फेंसी पीरियड क्या होगा, न्यूरोलॉजिकल और इंटेलेक्चुअल डेवलपमेंट में थोड़ा बहुत रिटार्डेशन प्रेजेंट होगा इन द बेबी. देन वर्स्ट प्रोग्नोसिस, कंजेनाइटल इन्फेक्शन, कंजेनाइटल एबनॉर्मलिटीज एंड द क्रोमोसोमल डिफेक्ट. तो ये सारे प्रॉब्लम्स भी हो सकते हैं ड्यूरिंग द लेट स्टेज. देन इंक्रीज्ड रिस्क लाइक द मेटाबॉलिक सिंड्रोम इन एडल्ट लाइफ, ओबेसिटी, हाइपरटेंशन, डायबिटीज, कोरोनरी हार्ट डिसीज. सो दैट ऑल आर द इंक्रीज्ड रिस्क. And then altered orexigenic mechanism that causes increased appetite and the reduced satiety. Okay, that means the altered orexigenic, that means the appetite of the stomach, means the it's one kind of the appetite stimulant. So that mechanism will lead to the increased appetite in the baby and reduced number of the nephrons, so that will lead to the renal vascular hypertension. Then in the maternal, what type of complications are present? First is as per IUGR does not cause any harm to the mother, so it will not be harmful for the mother sometimes, and the underlying disease process like the preeclampsia, heart disease, malnutrition may be life threatening. Means if in the women this kind of disease are arising, so that will be life threatening, and risk of having another growth retarded infant in 2 folds. ठीक है, अगर फर्स्ट बेबी जो है IUGR बॉर्न हुआ है IUGR के साथ, तो इट विल बी मोर चांसेस, 2 fold चांसेस, मीन्स 2 times ज़्यादा चांसेस रहता है कि नेक्स्ट बेबी भी ग्रोथ रिटार्डेड हो. देन इमीडिएट न्यूनेटल मोर्टेलिटी 6 times more than normal newborn, or even similar weight appropriate to shorter gestational age. Most babies dies within the 24-hour, and morbidity rises to the 50% cases. The next is the management of the IUGR. So in that, constitutionally small इफ द बेबी इज कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनली मीन्स अगर बेबी जो है फिजिकली स्मॉल रहेगा तो कोई भी इंटरवेंशन करने की नीड नहीं है. बट इफ इट इज सिमेट्रिक IUGR, so in that condition we should have to done properly investigation for checking the anomalies, infection or the genetic syndromes, or no effective therapy is required. And if it is placental disease or reduced placental flow is present, so maybe some treatment may be given in that condition. Then general treatment, so no proven therapy for reversing the IUGR once it has established. मतलब कोई भी ऐसा अभी तक थेरेपी इस्टेब्लिश नहीं हुआ है जो कि IUGR के कंडीशन को रिवर्स कर सके अगर वो एक बार इस्टेब्लिश हो चुका है तो इसके लिए हमको क्या करना है, वी कैन ओनली प्रोवाइड द जनरल मैनेजमेंट टू द पेशेंट. सो फर्स्ट इज एडिक्वेट बेड रेस्ट स्पेशली इन द लेफ्ट lateral पोजिशन. सो इन दैट कंडीशन वी शुड हैव टू आस्क द women to always take a bed rest in the left lateral position. Then correct the malnutrition by the balanced diet, that is with the extra 300 calories per day, and appropriate therapy for complicating the factors like to produce the IUGR. Then avoidance of smoking, we should have to properly educate to not to take any kind of beverage or the teratogenic substance like the smoking or alcohol. And maternal hyperoxygenation at the rate of 2.5 ml per minute by nasal pronge or nasal cannula for the short term prolongation of the pregnancy. And low dose of aspirin, that is given 50 mg daily in selected cases with history of thrombotic diseases, hypertension, preeclampsia or the IUGR condition. Then antepartum evaluation. In that condition, serial evaluation of the fetal growth and assessment of well-being should be done by the ultrasonography that will be done in the interval of 3 to 4 weeks of assessment. In that we should have to check properly biparietal diameter, then head circumference, abdominal circumference, and the fetal weight and the amniotic fluid index. And then fetal well-being, that should be checked by the kick count, then non-stress test, biophysical profile, amniotic fluid volume, and the cordocentesis for the blood gases test, and the Doppler ultrasound parameters. Then time of delivery. So some factors can be considered whenever we are deciding the time of delivery. So first is the presence of the fetal abnormality. अगर किसी टाइप का fetal abnormality present है तो उसके अकॉर्डिंग हमको डिलीवरी टाइम अपना सेट करना है. Then duration of the pregnancy, then degree of growth restriction, कौन सी डिग्री का है, then associated complicating factors, then degree of fetal compromise, previous obstetric history, and then availability of the NICU. According to that only we should have to properly select the time of the delivery. Then beyond 37 weeks, if it is beyond 37 weeks, then we can able to conduct the delivery or delivery should be done. But if it is before the 37 week, so in that there is two condition according to the IUGR. So if it is uncomplicated mild IUGR, then we should have to give the general treatment. Then placental functions may improve, or the pregnancy is allowed to continue till at least 37 weeks. Then in the severe degree of IUGR, if lungs maturation is achieved, अगर lung mature हो गया है before 37, then the presence of phosphatidylglycerol and the LS ratio, that is the lecithin or the sphingomyelin ratio, at least 2 from the amniotic fluid study, then we can do the termination of the pregnancy. And then lung maturation not yet achieved, अगर अभी भी lung mature नहीं हुआ है, so that will create the problems like the prematurity, growth restriction. Preterm IUGR requires the highest level of the NICU treatment. And then betamethasone therapy should be provided if it is less than 34 weeks of gestation. So corticosteroid therapy that reduce the risk of neonatal HMD and the intraventricular hemorrhage. HMD, that means the hyaline membrane disease or the intraventricular hemorrhage. Then methods of delivery, so route and time decided, considered. First is the according to the severity of IUGR, according to the maternal condition, then any other obstetric complications. The low rupture of the membranes followed by the oxytocin. So beyond 34 weeks with variable cervix and the head is deep in pelvis. So the prostaglandin E2 gel when cervix is unfavorable. अगर सर्विक्स जो है प्रॉपरली डायलेटेड नहीं हुआ है तो उसको डायलेट करने के लिए हम क्या देंगे, प्रोस्टाग्लैंडिन E2 जेल. and then intrapartum monitoring by the clinical continuous electronic and the scalp blood sampling is needed as risk of the intrapartum asphyxia is high. ठीक है, तो इस टाइम पे हमको प्रॉपरली मॉनिटरिंग करना है, ब्लड सैंपल लेना है और किसी टाइप का एस्फेक्सिया कंडीशन तो प्रेजेंट नहीं है उसको मॉनिटर करना है. Then the cesarean section without trial of labor when risk of vaginal delivery are more, fetal acidemia absent or the reversed diastolic flow in umbilical artery or the unfavorable cervix. So according to that we should have to conduct the cesarean section or the trial labor, then care during the vaginal delivery. So equipped institution where the intensive intranatal monitoring, clinical or the electronic is possible and having the facilities for the NICU. मतलब हमको जहाँ पे NICU फैसिलिटी अवेलेबल है वहीं पे ही हमको वजाइनल डिलीवरी कंडक्ट करना है इन दी वेल इक्विप्ड इंस्टीट्यूशन और दी हॉस्पिटल. और द नेक्स्ट इज दी प्रॉपर प्रिकॉशन शुड बी टेकन. Then first stage, ensure the adequate fetal oxygenation by giving oxygen to mother by the mask. ठीक है, हमको ensure करना है कि प्रॉपर ऑक्सीजन मिल रहा है कि नहीं बेबी को, और मदर को हमको बाय मास्क जो ऑक्सीजन प्रोवाइड करना है. Then epidural analgesia is of choice. To reduce the pain condition, we should have to give the epidural analgesia and labor carefully monitored, preferably with the continuous electrofetal monitoring. Then in the second stage, the birth should be gentle and slow to avoid the rapid compression and decompression of the head. ठीक है, बर्थ जो हम कंडक्ट करते हैं इन दी सेकेंड स्टेज ऑफ लेबर तो वो क्या होना चाहिए, स्लो होना चाहिए और जेंटल होना चाहिए. अगर हम रैपिड करेंगे, ठीक है, क्विकली करेंगे तो जिससे क्या हो सकता है, कंप्रेशन और डिकम्प्रेशन हो सकता है बेबी के हेड में. देन एपिसियोटॉमी में बी डन टू मिनिमाइज दी हेड कंप्रेशन if it is primigravida or if it is the complicated cases. So in that condition we should have to give the episiotomy to minimize the head compression. Then tendency to delay is curtailed by the low forceps. ठीक है, अगर हमको लगता है कि लेबर का प्रोसेस डिले हो रहा है तो हम उसको जो है मैनेज कर सकते हैं या कर्टल कर सकते हैं बाय दी लो फोर्सेप और दी फोर्सेप डिलीवरी. Then cord is to be clamped immediately at birth. Just after the birth of the baby we should have to clamp the umbilical cord. Then these all are the management of IUGR baby. Then the management protocol of IUGR. So whatever I have tell you previously, that all are written in the protocol form. So in the management to confirm the IUGR and type, किस टाइप का IUGR कंडीशन है, then exclude करना है, कोई congenital malformation तो नहीं है बेबी में. Then treat the specific कॉज. ठीक है, इफ फाउंड कोई अगर स्पेसिफिक रीजन है, कॉज है या एटियोलॉजी है, उसको हमको फाउंड करके ट्रीट करना है. देन फीटल सर्वेलेंस करना है, डेली फीटल मोमेंट काउंट चेक करना है, कार्डियोटोकोग्राफी, एनएसटी मीन्स नॉन स्ट्रेस टेस्ट, बायोफिजिकल प्रोफाइल, डॉपलर, अल्ट्रासोनोग्राफी पैरामीटर्स, देन द डक्टस विनोसस और द अम्बिलिकल वेन, ये सारे जो इन्वेस्टिगेशन करने हैं. Then the treatment depends upon the pregnancy duration. If it is less than 37 week or if it is more than or equal to 37 week. अगर ये 37 वीक से कम है तो उसमें हम डिसाइड करेंगे अकॉर्डिंग टू द सीवियरिटी ऑफ द डिसीज, लाइक दिस सीवियर IUGR और द माइल्ड IUGR. देन इफ इट इज प्रेगनेंसी इज मोर देन 37 वीक मीन्स दी लंग भी प्रॉपरली मैच्योर हो गया बेबी का, तो हम प्रॉपरली वहाँ पे डिलीवरी कंडक्ट कर सकते हैं. देन इफ इट इज प्रेगनेंसी इज लेस देन 37, अब उसको हमको अकॉर्डिंग टू सीवियरिटी ऑफ IUGR जो है ट्रीट करना है. सो इफ इट इज सीवियर कंडीशन देन ड्यूअल प्रॉब्लम लाइक द प्रीमेच्योरिटी और डिसमेच्योरिटी इज प्रेजेंट. सो इक्विप्ड सेंटर, इन द इक्विप्ड सेंटर प्रॉपरली fetal surveillance is done and reassuring the fetal status like Doppler after 1 week and non-assuring the fetal status. And then center with the limited facility in utero transfer to a referral center. Then if it is mild IUGR then increased rest, general management we should have to provide like the increased rest, folic acid, increased fluid intake, general management and the fetal monitoring till the 37 week. After that we can conduct the delivery process. Then non-reassuring fetal status, then assess the lung maturity and assess the lecithin and the sphingomyelin ratio, then phosphatidylglycerol level. And after that process if the lung is not mature then betamethasone therapy should be provided and delivery should be conducted. And if it is mature then we can conduct the delivery process. So these all are about the management protocol of the IUGR. Okay, so the topic intrauterine growth restriction or the retardation is completed. Thank you. Thanks for watching.